Hey everybody, thank you for having us. We are
The Review Guys.
and we have a great show for you today. We're going to be focusing on a great little handy piece of software that I've been using for a few years now. This is going to be something that I think is going to meet all of your needs when it comes to digital storage. This is, of course, the Samsung T7, and I want you to take a good look at this as we dive right in. And you can really see it here. And I'm going to go ahead and come on screen in a second, but I want to show you the sideway profile. This is a really thin and sleek little device. It's great for a multitude of reasons. It can really help out with quite a bit of stuff when it comes to storage, but also just portability. Sure. It works really well to just fit in a pocket. Are you sure? Absolutely. It does a good job with moving. It really can help you out with grabbing something. It's the perfect little device that's handy that you can plug into almost any machine. Perfect. It works out pretty well. I definitely like it. I'm going to give you another side profile. And here you can see it from the side pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
You can see where it takes the USB-C charger, which can go to another USB-C into the device, or it can go into a USB-A, which is going to be the square device. So take a look at this and see how sleek it looks. So let's also take a look at, before we go deeper into it, let's take a look at some of the details. Now you can see this is the one I have. It talks about speeds up to 1050 MB, which is pretty fast. 3.2 external solid state drive. It's a blue. I like the blue. And 500 gigabytes. I should have probably gone for a terabyte, which is about, I don't even know, about $10 more. But somehow I ended up getting 500 gigabytes. I believe for me, it was a time, it was more of a time issue. And I believe at the time the terabyte was a lot more. I think it was like $129. Right now, the terabyte drive itself, I believe, is about, I want to say the terabyte drive is about $84. So your best bang for your buck is going to go ahead and get the terabyte. I'm happy with the 500. If you look at my drive, I've almost used all of it. I do have another one of these guys in storage. So I definitely use my devices. I own two of them now. And we're going to do a side-by-side right now as we go on screen. And I'm going to hold it up so you can see exactly what it looks like in my hand. And this is it right here. And I want you to see just how thin it is. Very thin. And you can see where the USB-C is going to come into play. I want you to take a look. I know the autofocus is doing its best to try to make this work out. So let's hold it right here. Here we go. And again, the autofocus is doing its best to try to make it work out, but very sleek. See how easy it fits? It's almost like a Ridge wallet, the way it can fit in your hand. I click this right back in. I plug it into my computer. I like to use the USB-A for this one, and it does a really good job. So I'm very happy with this.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very, very cool little device. It does a lot of great things. And we're going to talk a little bit more about it. I'm just going to show you another great look at it in a full screen so you can really take a peek at what you're going to be getting. And there you have it. So let me float myself back on screen. Now, why would you get this in the first place? I want to talk to you about why I got it. So I was doing my dissertation for my PhD, and I started a process, and I knew I needed a file storage that was capable of encrypting data. And this had capable possibilities for encrypting data. I saw the amount of storage it could hold. I knew I was going to be doing a lot of observations, qualitative data collection, which means a lot of interviews, observations, videos. Some of these files can get pretty large into the gigabyte size. So I needed a storage device that can be encrypted. And I actually needed something where I can keep this into a safe and destroy the evidence later on as part of the process for research to keep the data secure. So I looked into this device and I saw it had all the capabilities that I would need as a young researcher to be able to make sure that I'm collecting the data securely and able to encrypt that data so that only my eyes and my team's eyes were able to have access to that if needed. And then I was able to let that know to the participants that we were able to collect their data. They can give honest and very insightful feedback into the questions that we asked them. And I was able to let them know securely that their data was protected. This was going to be only used by my eyes and the eyes of my team. So I needed something like this to really give me the confidence to tell my participants that they had full, I'm trying to choose the right words here, that they had an opportunity to really trust us. I guess I can put it that way, in terms of taking their data collection and making sure that we don't let out what they're saying to anyone else on a needs to know only basis. And this was the device I chose. At the price I paid, I think I did pay about $89 retail. Looking back, the first one. Now, the first one I have is still in my storage somewhere, so I'm going to have to go dig it out. But the second one I needed as well, as I became more YouTube savvy. So this one is the one that I use for my YouTube stuff. The other one's the one I do for my research, which is in a safe. With this one, I have gigabytes and gigabytes of stuff that I use. There's courses I made, so I have gigabytes of files for the courses, so I can always go back and re-edit them or add to them, add overlays, add extra titles. There's a lot of things I would do for these courses. So I really appreciate the option to have this device so that I could draw on my files. One thing I really like about it too is that it loads up files really quickly. It doesn't necessarily corrupt data a whole lot. It has gotten warm. I think once I noticed it was a little warm. Usually I don't notice it being warm. You don't really hear it make a lot of noise. I think when I was first debating if I was going to get the T5 or the T7, the difference with the T5 and the T7 was the heat and also the speed, of course, but also the noise. I don't notice a noise with this device. It did give me a slight issue with my large 4K files and videos. There's a couple times where it was giving me an issue. It wasn't something that was long-term. In fact, my memory cards for my camera, which are very standard memory cards. Let's take a look at this. We got a SanDisk card right here. I don't know if you can see it on camera, 256 gigabytes. Now, these guys were giving me issues with my videos. They were corrupting the files, and I'd film a full 15-minute 4K video, and I'd have to go back and redo it because those guys were running into problems. So really, it just, I guess, depends on what you consider a problem with your forms of data collection, and when it comes to a device like this. So I'm going to full screen it again. And, forewarning, I'm going to move the camera over. I think it'd suit me well if I just move it to the side. Yes. Let's go back to talking about this little drive. It's really handy. Again, you really can't go wrong with this. I would definitely recommend you pick it up. You can do it. You really can. I absolutely believe so. So let's go ahead. I'm going to jump back on screen. And, yeah, let's go ahead and discuss reasons why you should get this and why you shouldn't get this. So, again, this is really slick. The design is really smooth. It does a great job at just about everything. Let's show you a side profile one more time. And it's just so thin and smooth. You really can't beat this. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do one final jump on the camera. As soon as I full screen this, there we go. And yeah, I don't know what else you can expect from a 500 gigabyte drive. I really don't. The price point is reasonable. I think it's pretty perfect. Again, take a look at this. I mean, very, very smooth. Look how thin this is. Very, very easy to hold. It's not too heavy. The cords feel fantastic. When I got these cords, they're very soft. Now, I was given some information. Sure. And in this information, they said use the stock cables. The stock cables are very high quality. So my guess is that the stock cables are going to help you achieve the best speeds. So if you're worried about how you upload the speeds of your files, definitely would use the stock cables. These do upload very fast. 10.58. That is what was advertised. I don't know if it gets that fast. I think probably closer to 700-800, maybe 900. At times I've surely seen it get over 1,000, but it does like to hang out about 700-800. I don't really keep too much track though. Some of it's gonna depend on your computer as well. There's only so much that you can expect out of your drive, but in terms, if you're not a stickler for it to hit 1058 every single time, which I doubt any reasonably priced scan drive will do, I think you're going to be very happy with this device. It's cool to the touch. It looks cool. I'm not embarrassed when I take this out. Say I go out to Starbucks, I plug this in. Oh yeah, you know, it works really well with my iPad. I use this all the time when I edit on my iPad. I use a program called LumaFusion for my 4K videos, and I edit with this, and it's not a problem at all. So it's a really smooth, easygoing device. I highly recommend that if you're someone that needs space, to look into this one. I'm not a proponent of Samsung in any way. I'm just a guy that used the product, liked it, and would like to give my 2 cents on it for anyone in need. I can vouch for this, that this does do what it says it's going to do in terms of holding space. So let me give you another look at it again, and then we'll move on to our final thoughts. Let's go ahead and full screen it for you. So again, you can't beat a drive like this in a price. If I had to go back, would I get it again? Yes. Would I go for T5 for cheaper? No. I heard they overheat. This has been pretty cool. It's met every expectation, if not more. The only couple of times where and I've used it hundreds and hundreds of times for thousands and thousands of files, transferring. I mean, I've restored my whole computer multiple times, transferred computers multiple times, backed this up, and this has been my right-hand man every time, and it hasn't let me down, except maybe those 2 times. And keep in mind, my actual scan drives, my camera video cards were the ones that got weird. Don't be weird. So they were the ones that corrupted my files most of the time. This was my backup for them. So I used this a lot of times right away. I would re-back up my files, which was a pain. But fortunately, because it was so fast, it wasn't that much of a problem. We're talking about a minute or maybe 2 for 8 gigabyte file. So it backed it up pretty quickly when I would record a file with my my Canon SL3 camera, and I'm recording to 4K. Sometimes we're getting up to 20 gigabyte files because I'm doing 8 15-minute videos, excuse me. My video cards here, I have multiple ones. I have about 6 to 8 video cards here. These guys would mess up. So I would back up the file immediately with my T7. And the T7 did a great job making sure that my file was backed up. So when it did get corrupted on a video card, which happened multiple times across multiple video cards, I knew that the T7 was standing strong. And again, I used about 6 to 8 different video cards, and they were still getting corrupted. Keep in mind, I was recording a lot of videos. I've recorded hundreds and hundreds of videos at this point. That said, I can always rely on this gadget here. So if you're looking for something that's durable, cool, this is it. Have I dropped this many times? I have a toddler who's my daughter right now. She drops everything unexpectedly. So I always need sturdiness. I need things that aren't going to break when you have little kids in a house. And she definitely has jumped on a couch. If she was here right now, she'd jump on my back, and it might make all this on the couch right here fall off. Fortunately, I don't have to worry about that right now because it's close to bedtime. But if it were to fall off, I am secure knowing that it's going to last, it's going to be fine. You can't say that for everything that falls, but this thing has fallen multiple times and it's never given me a problem. So before we go, have you liked the video yet? If not, ask yourself, why haven't you liked the video? Do me a favor, click the like button. Yeah, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment. If you do that, it will help out our engagement. We can push out this video more to people who need it, number one. Number two, you can have a sense of community. We'd love to get your thoughts on it, if it's worked for you. If not, if everything I'm saying was counter to your experience, please leave that in a comment. Tell me why. If you loved it, I would love to hear about your story. Let us know here at the review, guys, so we can give you the most accurate content about a product. We'll be back with more products for you. We really appreciate your time. Looking forward to talking to you more, and please be well.